An update on the teens who abused a wounded deer. Flintlock season is heating up, and Heirs of the Outdoors welcomes a new youth mentee. I'm your host, Brian McLaughlin, and this is Heirs Podcast. Well, anyway, so I wanted to talk first about the Brookville. Of course, everyone saw the video we actually did. This isn't our first podcast that we've done for. It's the first podcast we've done for PodHub, but it's not the first podcast we've done. We actually have 4 more on our YouTube page. So if you want to go over to our YouTube channel and sub on there, we have one that we talked about the Brookville teens who tortured a deer. So KDKA today came out with an update from the Game Commission. They said that the probe into video showing deer being tortured nearly complete. I'm reading it right off the website. It says that they are looking to the DA for potential charges, and but no charges have yet been filed. But essentially, they will be filing charges here soon if they're talking to the district attorney. So that's good news for us. Like we said in our earlier podcast on our YouTube channel, we definitely think that there needs to be serious repercussions because it's just what they did was absolutely unacceptable and unbecoming of a sportsman. So
yeah, what kind of charges do you think are going to be brought up?
Well, like we said before, they can definitely get them for animal harassment. That's going to be the smallest charge that we can charge them on the state level. And then the Trump administration made animal cruelty a felony. We talked about why I disagree with that move in the previous one, although I do agree that they should be severely punished, just not at the federal level. Anyway, so that's what I think they'll do. Do you disagree with me?
I don't disagree as far as there should be consequences to be made to make these boys accountable for their actions. As far as the federal thing, it is now a process. So if they can be punished for it, I'll have it. Like it is a law now, so it has to be at least justified, to say the least. But necessarily, you can see that the Game Commission is very serious about this. They aren't just throwing it under a rug. It's been constant news throughout the entire month how the Game Commission is saying how we do care about this, about the wildlife, how we are looking into it. I think a lot of people on social media too are very, very quick to their senses. They want instant justice. I feel that you can't necessarily have that because in order to have a full story painted, this will put the justice to the max, so to speak, if you get my drift on that.
Oh yeah, the court system in no way, shape, or form is quick. And we'll just see how that is. Actually, I took a class in undergrad, and it says like to avoid certain future things, like punishments have to be swift and certain. Cesare Beccaria, 15th century, said that. But anyway, so yeah, what sucks about our court system is this definitely isn't going to be a swift punishment. We'll probably hear like 2 years down the road that they finally were convicted of something, and I do really hope that they are.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is people think every crime is dealt like an episode of Law and Order.
Right.
That is not the case.
Many months, even years.
In Law and Order, everything's situated within an hour.
Yeah. Well, I have to take criminal law this semester, so we'll see. I'll let you know thinking exactly how long these things take. I know how it is in civil law now, but not criminal.
I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty lengthy process. It may extend past like 6 months for these boys, considering. I don't know. From my perspective, I feel like the justice system takes about like a year and a half to actually do something.
Oh yeah. Well, my buddy Shane, you know him. He actually was. We were in Phipps Conservatory during Christmas, and someone broke into his car and stole his Jenna's his girlfriend's purse, and they found out that after they caught the guy, they had to wait 6 months for just a hearing.
Yeah,
it just takes so much.
It takes so much time because of all the ridiculousness that happens in between. So
yeah,
that's that for the most part.
Hey, I'm checking out the KDKA. There are other things they posted today, being that it's New Year's Eve, and us at Heirs of the Outdoors want you to be very careful New Year's Eve. Police will be out, and for good reason. Please do not drink and drive. It's not worth putting anyone in danger. Please get an Uber. Please get a Lyft. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, you guys know how it is during rush hour traffic if you're in a city. So obviously, we don't need any more situations during this type of day. So just be safe out there. Do not be too reckless with your antics, and just have a blast. That's all we ask.
Yeah, well, a blast. Well, speaking of that, they just said as a reminder, celebratory gunfire can cause intended harm, and they just posted a meme here. It says, "Do not shoot guns in the air while you celebrate the new year tonight. Bang a pot instead."
Bang a pot.
I love this country.
That's not fun at all.
Yeah, that's definitely not fun.
When do I ever go out?
Well, it says you just can't shoot them in the air. Just shoot them into the ground like everybody else.
Yeah,
Jeez. God.
Exactly.
Well, I don't trust. A lot of people are really, especially when they get drinking, ridiculous. So, I mean, I guess banging a pot is the safe way to go. Thank you, KDKA.
Have you ever heard of stories where someone shoots a gun in the air and the bullet hits them back? Like,
I mean, personally, no. But if anyone who's taken a hunter safety course knows that that's definitely something that that can happen, and you can actually get fined for it. Like if you're shooting at like squirrels in a tree, even with a 22, you wait till like the squirrel is like the backstop is the tree. You can't shoot it like on the limb or something like that for reasons, because obviously like if we shoot something here, it can end up like halfway through Newcastle from where my house is. But
yeah, and I've seen stories where hunters get in trouble because their stray bullets hit someone in their house or cause damage to their property. So we just always have to be mindful of what our backdrops are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the first things you learn when you take a hunter safety course in Pennsylvania.
A lot of people tend to forget that, though, so it's always a nice reminder.
Yeah, especially with Pennsylvania, the rolling hills. It's really, especially in Allegheny County, that's why you can only use like muzzleloaders, crossbows, and basically slug guns for that reason.
Yeah, because of the population and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're going. I'm going on a flintlock hunt later. We'll get to that in a minute. We have to use a flintlock, that's what we're using today for the hunt that I'm going on here in about 2 hours. But yeah, I want to move on to that when we talk about Flintlock. Flintlock season is in full swing. I went out yesterday. We went duck hunting, me and you, in the morning. And then I went flintlock hunting. We did a bunch of pushes. Everyone got at least a shot opportunity. Whether a gun went off is a different story. I ended up missing one. I think I shot right under it, which is unfortunate. I only killed 3 deer with a flintlock before, but it was just a really good time. Every single push that we had, in which if anyone doesn't know, a push is when you get a couple guys sitting on one edge of a thicket and a couple guys walk through the thicket and kick all the deer towards them. We had a guy miss one with a crossbow running. That was fun. And and half the people, their guns didn't go off. As people know, flintlocks don't always go off. Especially
we were just talking
yesterday. It's not really.
We were just talking earlier how flintlock's more of a skill than just regular rifle hunting, because nowadays rifles just do the work for you. With a flintlock, it's all manual. You have to be quick to your senses, and like if your gun jams on you like that, you have to figure out what to do. It's not that easy to recuperate from that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just the preparation of getting the flint in a certain area to get the best spark, keeping your powder dry. It's not easy. And the hardest thing about shooting a flintlock, if it goes off, is when, in a rifle, as well as I do, you pull the trigger and it instantly goes off.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that one video that we had to jack another shell in for you to get your first deer.
Yeah, well, that was my fault because the bolt wasn't all the way down, and I guess that didn't hit the primer. So
yeah, and anyone watching or listening, if you'd like to see this video of Nolan getting his first deer, it was last year. I took him out. It was last year, right?
Yeah, it was last December.
Yeah, check out our YouTube channel. It's called AFK, which apparently in nerd speak, that's away from keyboard.
Yeah, because I'm always on my keyboard. It never fails.
Yeah, Nolan is our editor, so he's always doing that stuff. But he ended up getting a deer last year, which is awesome.
Yeah, if we do manage to get out flintlock hunting together, it would be my first time hunting with a flintlock. I could video record as well. But it would be super interesting to see how that all works. I haven't shot a flintlock in many years, and I love it because all the smoke and powder and everything.
Oh, it's very interesting. Well, like I'm saying, cool. That it's very, very difficult to even shoot one when it does go off because, like I said, it doesn't go off immediately. So so many people flinch, even like experienced guys flinch. Like they'll shoot because they go boom, and sometimes it takes like half a second, even more, to go off, and that's how everyone ends up missing.
Yeah, so you just have to like be perfectly still, and that's in a sense that's a good thing because I typically flinch when I pull the trigger.
Yeah, you were a big flincher that first time. And then the video that we were talking about on our channel, you shot, and the first time you shot and it didn't go off, it's probably a good thing because you pulled that you jammed the heck out of that trigger, and then you put your rifle in the middle of the crotch of a tree, and made a perfect shot on it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was such a good shot.
Flip right upside down is beautiful. But yeah, do you have any questions for me about any kind of flintlock hunting?
Like you mentioned how it delays, but how much powder do you typically put in? Like is there like a measuring thing that you use?
Yeah, so we use 2F powder. The amount of Fs there are in the powder you can buy to keep it simple is how fine the powder is. For your barrel, what you want to put in your barrel to actually get the projectile out of your barrel, you're going to want to use 2F, and then I use, I think 80 or 85. I use 80 grains. And then there's a certain measuring stick. You pour it in there, pour it down, and then I use power belts, 270 grain, and you put it in there. Use your ramrod and jam it all the way down. Make sure it's packed tight, and then for your pan powder, when the flint hits the metal and then it causes a spark, you're gonna want to use 4F because it's very fine powder. That very fine powder goes in the flash hole, which then ignites the powder in the barrel and shoots it out.
Okay.
So that's use 80 grains, and if you go on any kind of online and try to find any kind of flintlock gear, you're gonna find these things. So that's how you do it. If you're interested, anyone listening, if you're interested in how you flintlock hunt, get prepared for it, we can post a video like that, but only if we get an ample amount of people who would like to see that.
Yeah, guys, make sure you comment below to see. We can do another 101 video and see if we can do a tutorial on how to use a flintlock. Of course, I won't be presenting that video.
Yeah, it'll probably be my dad. Now, my dad is very good at it. He's the one who got me into it. And I love flintlock hunting so much. I don't even like to take the rifle out anymore. Like, I haven't taken a rifle out for deer hunting in a while because I always try to shoot a buck. Obviously it doesn't happen every year with my bow. Shoot one doe with my bow, and then I'll take my pistol out for rifle season, which I did get one last year. But I just rather get other people deer in rifle season. And I always try to save at least one tag for flintlock season because I just love getting out there. The snow is just falling. You see any kind of deer coming through, and again, like their brown bodies against the white, it gets your heart pounding. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I think there's also like this in my mind. I think deer hunting season's over at the end of December. By the end of December, basically. So it's.
Yeah, well, we just did a poll. I only sent it to iHuntP. I didn't do it at Hunting Pennsylvania, but just a small poll from one group. We posted on our Facebook page. We do a lot of polls often, so if you're into polls, especially about hunting related things, you can definitely go check us out on Facebook, and we post those on the reg. Mm-hmm. So we did one, and around 60% actually do, at least on iHuntPA, go out for flintlock, and 40% do not. So a lot of people do it.
That's a bulk of the populace actually just disregarding that portion of the season. So maybe more
within those 9,000 or 10,000 people in that group. But yeah, those are a lot of your diehards that go on there.
That is still Pennsylvania based, so that's great. We can't speak for other states, but
Virginia doesn't even have a flintlock. I don't really know a lot of other states that do have a flintlock season. That's why I think it's very unique. That's why I like Pennsylvania. There's very few things that I like about Pennsylvania more than other states, but that is definitely one of them because flintlock season. If you haven't done it, guys, highly recommend going out for flintlock season. You actually will get, you actually don't want to hit deer sometimes because then that means your hunt's over.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, get with you. It's like a bonding thing. You get with your family, your friends, and just go out and drive. And, if you don't get anything, like yesterday, we had a shot opportunity on all 4 drives that we did. It was awesome. We didn't care if we got anything or not.
So how do the bullets work? Do they look, well, they wouldn't be the same as a rifle. Are they like round?
So you can use round balls. I shoot a Hawkins, and for whatever reason, the rifling inside of my barrel shoot the power belts. They're kind of like a sabot with a tip, like the power belts. I can show you a picture of them later if you haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. I did use round balls. They didn't shoot as accurately, but mine I can definitely put them in a pie plate at 100 yards every shot. There's a couple different things you can do, but there's round balls and there's sabots.
So how does I'm trying to understand rifling a little bit better, but how does the rifling work with the round balls? Does it still project it?
What it does, it'll still spin the ball, and it'll still it doesn't have a point to it, but you have that spin, and that's what gives it its accuracy. Right. Because before there was rifling, actually during the Civil War, that's why the casualties were so high because they had rifled barrels at that point. But before that, during the Revolutionary War, they had smooth bores, and they were very inaccurate.
Yeah, they were just very inaccurate, and no one really got anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Civil War was the most violent war in American history, isn't that correct?
Bloodiest, yeah. And that was, obviously because it was like half the country versus half the country. But I think a lot of it had to do with the rifling, just because that made it super, super accurate, super deadly. And did you know that I didn't actually know this in the Civil War? They had repeating arms like bolt actions and some levers and stuff like that, but they chose not to use them because they're afraid they'd waste too much ammo.
Oh, my goodness.
The Union had them. They just chose not to use them.
What?
I found that. Yeah.
I feel like that would have gave them such of like an advantage.
Believe me, I know. They were just. I found that out. I can try to provide the source to you. We can actually talk about it next podcast if you want. But
that'd be cool.
That technology was out there. They just chose not to use it.
Yeah, the history of bolt actions and all that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get too far off into the weeds there.
I like that. I like that. I really do. But that's about all I have to say about Flintlock season.
Yeah, like I said, we'll try to get some Flintlock hunts out to you. We actually don't have one on our channel right now, but that being said, I'm taking our new youth mentee out today. We're going to do an evening sit in the ground blind. It's snow's falling here. Actually, we're going to go in Allegheny County, which I've never actually Flintlock hunted before. But his little Matthew, he's 11 years old. His mother got a hold of us through our page and said like, hey, he has no one to take him out. Can you take him out? And that's exactly what we built Heirs to the Outdoors for, because we want to, for anyone who either doesn't know how to, even if they're adults, take them out, but also children. If they have no one to take them out, no one to mentor them, that's what we're here for. And the fact that we have people messaging us now to, help them and also help their children get out and have their first experiences in the woods. It took a couple years for us to get here, but we were so happy that, she got a hold of us, and I took Matthew out on his first predator hunt, I think last week. And now I know it's late in the season. They got a hold of us after rifle season, but we're doing our best to try to get him a deer this year. So this will be his opportunity to shoot a flintlock. I'll have it on a tripod because, as you know, I expect him to flinch. So I'll be like, hey, just put it on there and touch the trigger. And that tripod that I use for predator season should hold it, and hopefully he can get one today.
Yeah, I'm so honored by the fact that is literally abiding by our commitment to mold the next generation. I absolutely love the fact that we are growing into this community of hunters and wannabe hunters who want to learn more about the sport in general. I think that's so admirable to actually have that advantage now, where people will reach out to us and want to learn. I think that's a very commendable thing. Matthew, I think you're going to be a great hunter one day. Just keep at it, buddy. And I'm super proud that you guys reached out to us. So hopefully we can make some memories and see where this takes us.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's what we want to try to say to people. Like, we are not just another YouTube channel. We are like a legitimate business, just so we can legally, accept money through our online store. And we use all of that money from our online store and through our multiple sponsors that we have. You can go and check out our sponsor list at our website at heirsoutdoors.com. And all of that money goes directly back into video production and helping kids and new adult hunters get into the woods so we can outfit them. We are not, we don't have a lot of money. We are working class people that just want to help people, because there's been a decline in hunting numbers since 1983. It's actually halved. And we used to have the most, I think we still actually do have the most hunters per capita, but we want to make sure that that's a continuing tradition here in Pennsylvania. So,
yeah, and we're very passionate about what we do. Even like some of the things that you do for free are the things that you do and that you love the most. So that's what we want to provide to our community is just the passion that we provide and sharing that with one another. We want to make hunting great again.
So make hunting great again.
So we'll see what we can do.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, guys, we are Heirs to the Outdoors. If you want to check us out, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do giveaways every milestone. Usually, the last one was at 500 subscriptions on YouTube. The next one, we're going to be doing a multi-sponsor giveaway at 1,000. And guys, again, these subscriptions on YouTube is what gives our sponsors leeway to go ahead and give us a whole bunch of gear that we go ahead and in turn give to our mentees, and that'll help them get their first hunt. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Let's make it happen, guys. Smash that subscription button and let's see where this takes us. But other than that, Brian, we'll sign off. Thank you for having me, and let's get out there and get this season rolling.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go hunting about an hour with Matthew. So, all right. Thank you for listening, guys, and have a good one.